Hello, Adam Bazalgette here, founder of Scratch Golf Academy. Today, best chipping drill. We'll look at a drill that will fix fat and thin shots around the green. I'll show you several aspects of a good chipper and how I think this drill addresses those. Okay, low point behind the ball to me is the biggest single, let me grab another ball here, biggest single enemy of good chipping around the green. When the bottom of your swing happens too early, lots of drop kicks, lots of thin shots as well. So let's look, and we'll assume reasonable lie. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we'll assume reasonable lie, not particularly long shot. Let's look at three aspects briefly that I think help people control their low point, and then we'll get into our drill, and I believe it helps with all three. So number one on my list, don't let the club get behind you over here. Let me put a ball down. If that club starts to get too far around you, you are going to bottom out early. You don't have time to drive your weight and recover from it unless you really work hard. So getting it behind you is a recipe to hit behind the ball. Become friends in the last year or so, fortunately for me, with Joseph Mayo, Victor Hovland's coach on chipping, and a number of other tour pros. He gave me an interesting TrackMan measurement. The measurement measures, I think it's called vertical swing plane, when the club is below knee high. In other words, in this final foot or so into the golf ball, that little piece, he's measuring them. If this is 0, at right around 80 degrees, this would be 45 degrees. So in coming into the ball, you want to be pretty much right down that target line. Number two on my list, don't get your upper body tilted behind the ball or just plain too far behind the ball. That is poison when you chip. Bad news. And number three on my list, okay, some players, Mickelson comes to mind, do have some wrist action on these little shots, but generally speaking, a little bit less, and certainly a strong correlation between the movement of the torso and the movement of the club adds consistency. So small golf towel, here's our drill. Now this is going to be a little bit different. You've probably seen this drill, but a little bit different take on this. The key is I can feel my body motion more here. Backswing needs to be more of a rocking or tilting motion. If you turn too much, your head's going to wheel behind the ball and the club is definitely prone to get behind you. And here's another key. Don't mirror image the through swing with the backswing. I want to feel a rocking motion here going back, but more of a turning and stay tall sort of a motion on the way through. Now we'll tackle number three about the club here in just a moment. But let's look briefly at me doing the drill in slow motion from two angles, then out we come. So notice the upper body movement on the way back. There's a fraction of turn, but it's primarily a rocking motion. Now compare that with coming through, much more level and turned, and notice how I keep my height, and you'll see the club really coming down that target line just before contact there, right into the back of the ball. So as we look from the front, there's the rocking motion. If anything, my head's fractionally toggling towards the target. That keeps my shirt buttons in front of the ball. Low point now in front of the ball or beyond the ball. And watch how coming through, look at my shoulders there. They're more level on this side. We'll talk in just a moment here about syncing the hands, body, and arms, but this really gets the body working well. Would love it if you check the link below at some point. Free 14-day trial at scratchgolfacademy.com. Trying to make a comeback there after a lot of difficulties. No credit card needed, no gimmicks. Just go there and browse the library. Hope you like it. Okay, number three, we said not too much independent movement of the golf club. I do want, this is a gap wedge, let's say. I do want to feel the club. I do want a little bit of play. I want some rhythm, but I want a little bit of softness in my arms. The towel guarantees pretty much that you're going to be using your body. So I really get the feeling that any movement of the golf club is generated more from here. And I just try to dial it in and find the feel I like. You need a bit of flow in the club. You don't want independent hand action. Again, different great players do this a little differently, so figure it out for yourself. But as a general rule, in terms of motion of the club head independent, less is better. Hope this helps.